Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Vinland Saga. Last time around we had Kings and Swords, where we had, what was his name? Ketil. I couldn't remember for a second. Ketil going to Jelling and encountering Leif Erikson and his adopted son Thorfinn, and Leif basically figuring out that Thorfinn, Ketil's Thorfinn is probably his Thorfinn. That's confusing. You know what I mean. You've seen the show, you know what I mean. We're just recapping for the sake of it. Anyway, and then Ketil went before King Canute and was like, yo, we bring you stuff. And he was like, yo, that's really great. And Olmar was like, yo, I want to like serve you. And Canute was like, yo, that's all right, yo. I don't know why I'm saying yo so much. I don't know why they all turned into Jesse Pinkman. Just wait for Canute to start calling someone a bitch. So, anywho, but then we saw in a private meeting that Canute has plans to requisition farmlands. I don't know if that's the exact word to be using, but you know what I mean. And he may be using Olmar as a figurehead, I suppose, to control and requisition Ketil's farm. So yeah, so perhaps problems. So yeah, like always, the reaction is down in the description in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Vinland Saga. Here we go. It's all coming together. The only thing we're missing is Thorkel. You know, because I mean, Thorkel has his own problems now with Canute, but like, don't you want to see Thorgil versus Thorkel? Like, don't you want to see that? Thorgil, honestly, he's like the complete opposite of Thor's, you know? And of course, it didn't help that there's so many freaking characters with Thor in their name. There's Thorfinn, Thors, Thorkel, Thorgil. Not to be confused with Torgrim. But it's just, he kind of is the opposite, you know. I mean, in a sense, I guess he's what Thor's was before he changed, really. That's really it, is that he is what Thor's was before he changed, you know? Man, it'll be interesting to see if Loki does something. I know I joke about this a lot, but, like, it's so funny that it's, like, the second episode of this show, like, kind of establishes Floki as such a big threat. And then the show just, like, drops Floki. Like, he's still around, he shows up every so often, but he really doesn't do anything, does he? And, like, I'd forgotten about him, too. It's like, we haven't really seen him in so long that it's like, man, I've forgotten that Floki even exists, you know? Maybe that's also because, like, I expect him to be so much older now, but he's obviously not, because it's only a few years later, but that's just because of how changed Canute and Thorfinn are, that I expect all the other characters to be changed. But I mean, Thorkel's not going to be that much changed, so I don't know. But anyway, everything's converging. Everything is converging. So the plan... So the plan was to have Olmar win, but in killing a Kingsguard, Ketil would be the one to be arrested and take the blame. He would be deposed, basically, and thus his land, his farmland, would be passed to Olmar, who still would want to do everything in service of his king. That was the plan on how to get rid of Ketil. Which, I mean, again, it's like... It is the thing, I think we talked about this last time, where it's like, there's no reason to believe that Catil wouldn't go for whatever plan Canute had, you know? Like, if the plan is to take everything, take all the produce, everything, all the product of Catil's farm, and use that to pay his troops in England, there's no reason that Catil wouldn't. I mean, like, maybe, but okay, so here's the thing. Catil might go for it. The problem is might, Like, there's a high chance that Catil would be like, hey, this is what my king wants, It still works out. We still, we basically get what we want out of it. We're still selling our stuff, basically. So, like, there's no real downside to it. And it's in service of my king, brother of the late king who I have served, So, honestly, it could be that Catil would have gone for it. The problem is might, and he might have gone for it. And Canute cannot take a chance on that. He cannot take a chance that Catil would have opposed this in any way. We have the benefit of knowing, well, speculating at least, we have the benefit of the easier speculation that Catil probably would have gone for it, But we have been watching this whole season with Catil. Canute has not, so he cannot take the chance, He will do whatever it takes to create his utopia for lost love, So he can't take the chance on it, but what he can take the chance on is Olmar, a young, impressional Nord man who wants to serve his king, will embarrass himself completely in front of his family and the king and the king's guard, So that's the thing. But now it's escalated, but even still, despite escalating, it still does work out in Canute's favor. Like, if story about this got out, if news about this whole incident got out, it's still fine. Like, it still works in Canute's favor, I don't know, man. I don't know. And Olmar, you know what? Now that he has had the taste of blood, I think he doesn't like it. I think he's finally looked at this and thought, that's enough. So we had the duel. We had Wolf using the coin, which was crazy. It's like, man, I don't know. See, I don't know where we're going with this, because it's like, because at the same time, it's like, while, everything is converging basically on Thorfinn, I don't know. I also don't see it as like we're converging on Thorfinn, but at the same time, I don't know. Does Thorfinn really care about this? This could affect, his and Einar's freedom. Einar might have a problem with this, and therefore Thorfinn would have a problem with this. I don't know, man. Hang on, I'm losing my train of thought. I need to get it back. Alright, so Thorgil, he really is, it's what I said, he's definitely the opposite of Thor's, or what Thor's used to be in his youth. He's just headstrong warrior, I will say at least, like, it is interesting that he is on the side of his family and not the king, but he looks at this as, as a matter of honor, honor. And in his honor, it's like, well, Olmar was insulted, so he must either kill that person or die. And when he sees that the duel was basically messed with, then he has to step in. And even when even when it's like, well, you broke the law, the duels are not permitted under Canut's law. It's still just a matter of honor, and Canute has broken that honor. And now, even though they don't fully understand the plot of, taking the farm, like, it's all just a matter of honor. Honor. But not, like, real honor, just, like, warrior honor. I don't know. Thorgil will definitely be in the pit of warriors when he dies, so I guess that's it, man. I don't know. Everything is converging on the farm. Canute, Floki, Leif, everything is going to that farm right where Thorfinn is. We talk about, like, the plot basically is Thorfinn, but now all of it is now coming to him. I mean, it has been a little while. I mean, I guess we had him. Was that at the beginning of last episode, or was it the episode? No, it was the episode before where we started the episode with him, and then they went on. I can't remember. I think that was it. Yeah. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting going into the next arc, which this will be the back half of season 2, and then we're caught up. I don't want it to end. I want to keep going. Oh, wow. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff indeed. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Vinland Saga reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.